Hello everyone and welcome. Today's video is all about the Avonni components in Experience Cloud site. And today I'm really excited to show you the power of the Avonni component regarding reactive component for Experience Cloud site. So you might be wondering what makes reactive component so special? Well, imagine this. You're building a website or an app and you want different parts to seamlessly talk to each other. And that's where the reactive components shine. And those components are like little messengers that keeps everything updated in real time, making your website feel super smooth and interactive. So to show you how this all works, we are going to dive into a practical example. We will create a list of accounts using the Avonni data table, and right next to it, we will have the Avonni map. And the cool part about that, it's when you select an account from the data table, the map will automatically zoom to the location of that account. So it's really great to visualize data and make sure that everything comes alive. So let's build the example together. I am on my Experience Cloud site. I am on the account list page. And the first thing I need to do to have like two components next to each other is to drag first a layout component. So I will use the Avonni layout right there to create a more custom component, to create a more custom layout. So I'm using the Avonni layout to create a more custom layout. For that, I will set up the column from there, from the Avonni custom property editor. For the first one, fixed, let's say 8 of 12 for the size. I will add some padding, horizontal medium. The same for the second one on the right. Let's set a size of 4, and for the padding, horizontal medium. So now the layout is set up. I have my two columns, and I'm able to drag the first component, which is the Avonni data table on the left. So I'm dragging the Avonni data table right there. And from there, I'm able to customize and build my data table using, once again, the properties panel. The first thing I need to set up, because I want to have the Avonni data table reactive with the map, I need to specify an API name. I need to enter an API name. So let's say data table. That's my API name. Now let's configure the data table. I need to scroll down to the data source section to create and to connect my Salesforce data with the data table. So here I'm using a query, and I'm like to deselect the account object. Now next I need to create my column. So we'll select name. I'm selecting then the industry. Let's select now next the billing city. As you can see, the data table is updating live, so you can get a real nice preview of how the data table looks like. Let's fine tune the settings of the data table. And because I only want to be able to select one account at a time, I need to set right there at the top max row selection. Instead of having checkboxes, I like to have radio buttons. So I will just set the max row selection to 1 to be only able to select one account at a time. That's for the left side regarding the data table. Now, let's do the right side. I like to display the map. But before displaying the map, I like to add like the Avonni card that would be like a container. So I like to display the map inside the card. So we just drag the Avonni card from there and customize the cards. Let's say location, for example, location. Select an icon name, content pool padding. So now I have a slot like content to drag the Avonni map. By the way, I'm using an LWR site. If you're trying to reproduce the exact same tutorial on an Aura site, you won't have the ability to drag and to use the layout properly and to use slot. That's a limitation from Aura site. Okay. Now let's drag the Avonni map. dragging the map, and like the data table, I'm able to customize the map. So what I need to do first, like the data table, I need to scroll down to the data source section and I need to create the query. So I want to query the account object. Perfect. Then let's configure the mapping. It's already there by default. I get a preview displaying all the accounts. I don't want to have like this list view, so I will just scroll up to the list view settings. Hidden. Okay, that's good, but that's not what I want. I want to only display one account, not all the account. So I need to filter the map based on the account selection I made on the data table. And that's where the reactive part comes into play. So on the filter side, I need to add a condition filter by the field which is the account ID. I want to only display the selected record ID of the data table. So I will select the account ID field. And for the value, I need to enter the reactive expression from the Avonni component. We have a bunch of documentation in place for that, and I will show you the documentation website just in a few minutes. So I need to type the expression, which is like the experience cloud expression. So I need to first type the API name I set up on the data table. So it's this one. Then I need to type the selected record and then .id. What is the field I need to specify the field I need to use for the selected record. So I need to use the ID of the selected data from the data table. Save. Okay, I filtered the information. The map is updated live. I will just play with the zoom level because I really want to focus. Let's say I have a zoom level of maybe 11, which would be like the city level. So, okay, that's great. Let's do a quick preview. So now if I'm selecting an account, nice. So as you can see, the map is updated live on the Experience Cloud site. I'm not using a flow. I'm really using native Avonni components that are reactive. So here on my example, you can see that the Avonni data table is communicating with the Avonni map based on the setup I just done a few seconds ago on this video. And it's working perfectly fine. Now, if you'd like to learn more about how to set up reactive data components, we have a documentation website regarding the Avonni components for Experience Cloud, and we have the reactive data component page where you can see a lot of information about what are the reactive data components, which one are reactives, and some examples to replicate this on your site. That's pretty much done for what this demo regarding Experience Cloud component. Let me know if you have any question in the comment section below. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.